One, two, three, and smile for the camera. Hey, what's up, Varsha? Hi.
Hey, it's going
Welcome.
great. How are you?
Yeah, thank you for asking. I'm doing great as well. So, from the get-go, I just want to say thank you, Varsha, for being here tonight. We really appreciate it. I'm really excited to have this conversation with you, and I'm kind of tense. I don't know why, but
You don't have to
you're
be tense. Come on, this conversation is going to go great. And I think this is a great initiative to kind of learn from people's perspective as to how they think about it. So I think this is great.
Could you please a little introduction about yourself and what you're doing inside the company? And
Sure.
yeah,
All right. So, as you know, my name is Varsha Singh. I'm working here as a enterprise solutions manager. I've been with the company. I think this is going to be my sixth year with the company. So, yeah, I know it's been more than half the decade here at We Group. And currently, I'm looking after multiple areas. So I've been with the company at their expansion stage, at their stage where they were trying to stabilize a few things. So I've kind of, I've seen it happening and I've been a part of it. Currently, I'm looking at the business expansions and the service delivery structures within the public sector, both federal and state, and the commercial space as well. We are trying to set up some amazingly innovative practices around knowledge management, Microsoft, things like that. So yeah, very exciting work.
I only got a little bit of that because it's a there's a lot of like stuff. All I do is
Well,
like
let's
I
just
create
say,
videos.
let's just say I come into the picture when there is no definitive path for
Oh
any of
right.
the direction that we are trying to set up. So I get into the picture, I find out what we can do, create a path, hand it over to people who can actually lead it, and yeah, that's me.
Oh, that's kind of like a Pathfinder kind of
Kind of.
position.
Yeah, I wish there
Yeah.
was a designation like that.
So Varsha, speaking of you're the manager of Mint and you're looking for opportunities and also building out the path for business expansion. Let me ask you, what has been your journey thus far?
All right. Well, the journey as a let's talk about this topic. So, journey as a working woman, right? I mean, coming up from a background where, we try to get the best of the education, we try to get into the company, get settled into the corporate environment, try to find a path where, obviously, I mean, diversity and inclusion is a part of all organizations, but still, at the end of the day, you got to find your place, right? You have to work for it. You have to really put your best foot forward and find your place within the corporate. So I think my journey, as far as that is concerned, as far as work is concerned, has been extremely empowering. I started working with the company as an analyst. I found a lot of opportunities. I had my highs and lows. Lows in the terms of where I did not know if I'm going in the right direction, but I think I've been surrounded with a lot of great people who believed in supporting the budding leaders in the company, who
Right.
believed in providing all the support that you can provide to the people for them to grow and kind of get forward in their career. So I think the journey has been extremely amazing. You get to a point where you have like a mixture of emotions. Some days are like, okay, you're trying to do something, it's not going in the right direction, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, you find out a way.
Yeah. I feel I kind of share your insights right now. So for those of you who don't know, I've just started V Group, and I have the same feelings or I have the same sentiments as Varsha. I like how in V Group we we take care of people. We kind of mold them into being like a leader of some sorts. And I kind of got that from Varsha because we had several meetings about the presentations for legal. I'm sorry, but I had a hard time like doing those kinds of presentation. But Jojo really helped me out,
Right.
and then. Yeah, that's one of the things that I kind of liked here in V Group. We kind of help each other out. So yeah, I'm kind of getting sidetracked, but I just wanted to like
Totally fine. Feel free to get all the sidetrack that you want.
I just want to share that with you and to all the people who's going to
Appreciate it.
watch this.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the next question would be today. Today is gonna be today's Women's Day, and I'm very excited to really have this conversation with you. And there's a lot of insights going on as well. And could you tell us? I mean, for a manager, you need to have like extreme motivation for you to get up in the morning and go to work. What are Can I ask what are those extreme motivations that you have right now that pushes you up from bed and then do the amazing job that you're doing right now?
All right. Okay. That's I think that's a very interesting question because not just as a working woman, I think all the professionals they ask themselves that pretty much every day. But as a working woman, what drives you, at least in my case, is your passion for growth, for transformation, and for contributing towards the best for the organization as well as your personal development. So that's how I see, my motivation to do any of the tasks in my personal life, if I had my personal projects going on, or be it the workspace. Now, my motivation to wake up every morning as far as work is concerned is to challenge myself to the task that people don't know how it's going to go. There's no definitive structure of that. Nobody has ever tried it. We don't know whether or not we are going to be successful. There's a lot of analysis that goes into it. At the end of the day, you are creating a opportunity in the new horizon for the company. So I think that's my motivation, to find out what's there beyond the known factors that we have. So, exploring the unknowns, finding a way, guiding people as to how to work on that. I think that's my personal motivation. I like creating things. I like stabilizing things. So I think that's my personal motivation, to wake up every morning, go to work, and put my best foot forward.
Awesome, amazing. I can feel like leadership vibes exuding
I
out from you. Uh,
appreciate it. I try.
and in terms of leadership, so leaders have their own core values, right? So for you, I would like to ask what as a leader that you are right now, what are your core values, and do you think your core values right now do they coincide or are similar, or do they like connect with V Group as a whole?
Sure, absolutely. I think that's another great question. Since I have been with VCRE for that many years, so yes, our values definitely align. As an individual, I wouldn't just call myself as a leader, but as an individual, as a working professional, I think some of the core values that I go by and that defines my day-to-day task, everything that I'm doing, is leadership, empathy, integrity, and accountability. So these are just few values that whatever you are doing, it could be the smallest of the tasks, it could be the biggest of the task. The way that you react, the way that you take that task, all those core values are going to define it. So I think that is that for me. And I think that has been one of the biggest reasons why I have been working with V Group almost my entire professional career. It's been a lot of time. And the company believes in creating leaders. And that means that they have to instill a lot of leadership qualities, a lot of qualities related to how you do not succumb into the hardships. How do you maintain your integrity? How do you take the ownership of the task? How do you take the accountability of the task that you are doing and eventually your team is doing, which is going to contribute towards the company at the end of the day? So I think, yeah, that's where our values align, and the way that they have been providing the right platform, support, training, they believe in the leaders, the things that they want to do. I have come up with the wildest of the ideas out there. And I wouldn't say that they were successful all the time, but I've never heard that, hey, I don't think this is going to work out. It was always in a way that, hey, let's try it. You're thinking about it. I'm sure there's a lot of thought process in the back. Let's do it. Let's try it and see where that goes. So I think I really appreciate that value, and that aligns with where I want to be and what I want to do as a professional.
Great. Okay, that's an amazing answer actually. Oh, but I'm gonna go like a little sidetrack because I'm just curious. You said a
Mhm.
while ago that you've had like very wild ideas before. Could you
Right.
just for funs and giggles, could you share with us one of those wildest ideas that you have?
Okay, I can definitely do that. So, it's not even a while back. It was, I think, last year. We were like, okay, we have the headquarter in New Jersey. We have an offshore team working out of India. What about we explore other geographies, and what about we try to find out how we can work in the other countries? And we honestly, we did not have like any roadmap into expanding towards the new countries. We were like, okay, let's just explore the waters. We'll see how that goes. So no, it wasn't ever a part of the business plan. that, hey, we'll expand towards these geographies. It was just an idea. Hey, let's find out how the workforces are doing in the other countries. We explored Mexico, we explored Costa Rica, we explored Philippines. And now one of that wild idea is turning out to be the entire Philippines offshore operation for us. So yeah, that was one of the thing that happened. And I still remember this conversation with the CEO that, hey, what about we just start with a few people? We'll see how that goes. And they were like, yeah, it seems pretty wild without a planning, but let's see how that goes. So yeah, some of it started like that, but at the end of the day, it all came together. So I'm pretty excited about seeing that even grow further.
So since like you've worked with a lot of people already with different in different countries and different races as well, how did you find that kind of diversity? He now in the company we have at least we have India, we have Filipinos, we have India, and then we also have Americans going in the company. How do you find working with other races and other with other people in different countries? What has been your journey so far? What has been your experience working with these different kinds of people every day?
Sure. Your question kind of takes me back to my at actually 2015, where I used to have, like, in my previous organization, I used to have a lot of leadership kind of sessions. They used to tell us that everybody, the way that they work, the way that they lead their personal lives, the way that they react to situations, the way that they look at the problem versus solution kind of equation, all of that is a combination of where they come from, what kind of environment that they had growing up, the way that their experiences have been. So it's all a collective reflection of where they have been and how they have come, how everything has come together for them. So I think it's always very interesting to work with people from different kind of races, diverse cultures, different countries. It's always a very, very interesting kind of situation in a very positive way, because you may be looking at a problem, and this has happened with us a lot of time, you may be looking at the problem in a very single-minded way, the way that you have always seen it, the way that you always do it. But then there is another person from another country and another culture. They bring a completely different perspective into it, that, hey, why are you not even thinking about this direction? Can we look into that? So I think that way is an amazing thing. And I think studies have shown that multiple times, that the problem solving capability of a diverse workforce is way better than a non-diverse workforce. So it has always been interesting. It has absolutely always been interesting.
So it's like saying two brains are better than one, something like
Yeah,
that.
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. All right. So in this time that you have been working with a lot of people in this diverse company, and as a person who's in position as well for the legal department for management, do you have like any in your own little way, how do you like advocate diversity in your own in the company or in your own little team or in your own team as well?
Right, absolutely. So I think this is something which is very close to my heart, because I have seen people, what diversity and inclusion does to them, right, in a very positive way, how it helps the companies, how it helps different kind of communities, things like that. So internally, I have been actually promoting the diversity and inclusion, not just from the workforce standpoint, but also from the, let's just say, the business partner standpoint. Because in our public sector initiatives, we have to have a diverse team of partners that could work with us in a larger contract. So we always look for, those companies that are coming from the different kind of ethnicities. They are service disabled veterans, not just from the races, but also from the contribution towards the country. So we look at a lot of those things. I'm personally a part of women in tech communities, women entrepreneurial groups in New Jersey. So is the kind of passion that they have, the kind of inclusivity that they have, and the talent that they have is uncomparable. And their zeal to kind of actually pull people up, right? Their zeal to kind of create more women leaders is amazing. They have their regular chapter events, they would have their one-on-one meetups, they would be very active in the community. So yeah, I mean, I do take part in all of that. Some of those initiatives are pretty large in the company, where we become a part of a very large partner as a diverse company, and then we pull in the partners with us. So there's like a equilibrium going on of the diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Pretty amazing hearing it from you.
Well,
So
yeah, sometimes what happens, there are a lot of things that we are doing, but I think interviews like these they help to kind of, talk
Flesh
about
it
it.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, talk about it in the open. People get to know about it. You put a voice to everything that is happening in the background. So I think this is pretty amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what we want. I'm planning as well to have like maybe like a session voice of V group, something like that
I think
in
that's
the
a great
future.
idea. Everybody gets to talk, not just the women.
Yeah, next time maybe I'll ask VJ to have like a podcast.
Yep,
What's up,
yep.
VJ? All right. So, you were saying that you were part of a movement, and also you're
Mhm,
creating like an equilibrium of people here inside in V Group.
mhm,
And with that being said, if this is kind of like a fun question, if you had a chance to really like
mhm.
create a project around diversity and advocating diversity inside the company, what kind of project would you create, or what kind of event would you create moving forward?
Okay, absolutely. Let me think. I mean, look, one of the basis of whenever we talk about bringing people together or connecting with people, let's just say as human to human, right? At the end of the day, we are
Yes.
all humans, right? Keeping the corporate aside, keeping the work aside, remove everything. We are humans at the end of the day, and that's how we connect with people. At the end of the day, if you look at the relationships or the connections that you build with people, that's a human connection that you are building, right? Everything else
Right.
is just the influence. So I think in terms of bringing everybody together and actually knowing who they are and how they express themselves is the real connection between two people. Even at the workplace, that's when you get to know who you are working with, how would they react in certain situations, really get to know them. If I had my own little project, and I think I'm going to promote that internally too, because I'm a very artistic person. I believe in creativity. I believe in art. So I've seen a lot of organizations having this kind of art event for everybody, where everybody could bring in. It could be any kind of art, right? Doesn't have to be like necessarily a water painting. It could be any kind of art that they can bring.
Avant-garde.
And yeah, I know they could bring. It could be a photography, right? If somebody has
Right.
interest in photography, somebody has interest in, let's just say, going wild, pottery, so people could kind of bring those kind of ideas together, talk about what inspired you to create that piece, and you would never believe the kind of things that you would learn about them you know so I think having those kind of events could help a lot, keeping business on the side for a little bit and really getting to know the people the way that they are interestingly. So I think that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I actually have like a name for that event. Me
Mhm.
and the thoughts inside my head. I think that will be really great as an event.
That would be pretty good. Yeah, that would be pretty good.
Yeah. I should talk to Jojo and make that kind of event. Maybe in the
I've seen,
future.
I think there are quite a few people in the company that are really involved into like making sketches and paintings. They do like a lot of the artistic work. So yeah, we have a lot of people that are so much involved into art. It's just we never got to explore that.
Right. Yeah, maybe we can do like an art off, like a contest for artists.
Yep,
That's one
yep,
of
yep, that would be amazing.
that's one of my frustrations actually growing up. Like I don't know how to draw.
Oh
Like
no.
like stick figures, I still get them wrong.
Oh my
That's
God.
how bad I am in drawing. But yeah, thanks. Thank you for giving me a lot of these insights. Maybe moving forward, me and Jojo can like create a better ecosystem for everyone. We can just bring everyone together, especially right now. Like people are always working from home, and I feel like I had this conversation with Maria, and I said this to her as well. Like, working from home feels like we're isolated from each other, and then yeah, we just need more like events to bring
Right.
everyone
That's
together.
true. I mean, pandemic has kind of pushed us towards this virtual life. At the end of the day, we are all social animals. Like,
Yes.
we have to have that in-person human connections with people. We are trying to do our best with the virtual world, but hopefully at the end of the day, all of that settles down and we get to see each other in person. That would be great.
Yep. That would be better. It's
Yeah,
different. It's different when you're talking to people just
absolutely.
online. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay. All right. For my last question, Varsha.
Sure.
Uh, so we've talked a lot about diversity. We've talked a lot working women, let's say that, and then being a leader and working in V group, what would be your message to everyone out there, especially for women who are working out there? What would be your message? What can you say to them or impart to them that could give them like empower them more, give them more courage, and also maybe inspire them moving forward? Because to be honest, for me, just talking to you, kind of like hearing your thoughts already, kind of inspires me. Like, hey, I want to be like her one day. Like, I
I
want to,
appreciate it. Thank you.
yeah,
Well, my message to all the women, and especially, look at the corporate environment. It is so much better these days. Imagine this thing, say, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. There was definitely an inequality. When you look at the hierarchy, the leadership positions that will be available for women, the pay scale, even. I think right now we are living in a much, much, much better world. Not that, I would know personally how it was 40 years ago, but talking from all the information that we get to hear about. But I think for the women, is the way that I see it and the way that I deal with it every day is all in your head, right? The things that block you is all in your head. Nobody's gonna come to you and stop you from doing something. Some people may be in those kind of unfortunate situation, but at the end of the day, it's you against you. So that's how I see it. My messages to all the wonderful women out there is stop judging yourself, stop doubting yourself. That's the passion killer. More than anything else, you're absolutely beautiful, smart, and wonderful. Believe in yourself, keep up the hard work. If you get tired, then it's okay to take a breather and then get back into action. We all get tired eventually. It's just fine.
yeah.
Get some rest, get back into action, but don't just give up on things. You can do about anything if you believe enough in it. And that goes for a woman, for a man, for gender neutral people, anybody out in the world. If you believe enough in it, you can do it.
I like what you say. You know what? If I cut this off, the thing that you said, and then like insert in like epic music or like motivational music, that could be like a YouTube video already. Like,
Oh, I cannot wait to see that. I would
Oh,
love that. The thing that matters the most is hearing what our women in the company think about things that are going on, what happened in their personal experiences, things like that. So I think there's a great initiative, and I thank you for doing that.
Varsha, this was great. I kind of enjoyed our conversation. I I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got really inspired when you just
Oh, thank
talking,
you.
and then yeah, maybe one day I can be like, I can reach the things that you're doing. I can provide like I can make a difference inside the company, like the way that you're doing right now.
I
And
really appreciate it.
right now you're the title in my mind for you now is Pathfinder. I'll coin that.
Well, I think companies should think about these designation like I've seen a lot of companies having this HR designation where they will call them like people ambassadors, things like that. So yeah, people are doing a lot of different things. I think we can think about it.
Varsha the Pathfinder.